gun detachments would have been in earthworks like this. You see this hole they're going to fire through is called an embrasure. You see the crude sandbags thrown up. That's to simulate what would have been done during a siege. You're reacting to counter battery fire, rifle fire. You don't want to get shot while you're serving your piece. You see these big wooden screens to the left and right. Those are for those embrasures. That's actually 2-inch wooden oak planking that were made in Mobile, sent over here to be hung more or less as a curtain on the poles, on the inner poles of the embrasure. That's to absorb mini balls, bullets in the Civil War. And I can guarantee you that they do absorb them, because if you go and look on the other side, all of them here, they've all got mini balls in them, where people shot them, where the guy that had made them shot them to make them look that much more authentic. Typical scene, nothing's really going on. The guys have already gotten up, had their breakfast. They're lounging around in this lunette earthwork of the redoubt 4 fortification. It's called a lunette. It has more than 2 flanks. You got this flank, the front, and your right flank over here. You go to the other side, that's a redan. That has 2 flanks. You got your front and then your right flank of that portion. The middle section of the redoubt is where the bulk of the infantry force is, and then on the flanks would have been your artillerists, heavy hitters. So the redoubts at Blakeley were basically more or less fire bases. They had that's where your concentration of fire is all along the line, and then the connecting trench between the redoubts is called a curtain trench. And that's, if you ever read about the siege of Blakeley, that's where you hear the 1 man every 10 paces story. It's not, well, it's a fact. They were that decimated and that reduced. You had 1 man every 10 paces. What we're going to do is we're going to show you what happened whenever something like this kicked off on a random day during a siege. There's nothing going on. You might have had sporadic rifle fire out in the rifle pits. And on the other side, you probably would have seen the same thing being done by the boys in blue. We're going to do more or less a skit for y'all. At the conclusion of the skit, I've basically assembled a reenactor A-team, Delta Force terminology. All these guys have more than 20 years of experience, except for the young guy over here. And several of them are going to come out and interact with y'all when the skit is more or less done. They've all got different knowledge backgrounds. Got 2 guys with artillery, got a field music guy. I have a Civil War professor. He's going to talk to y'all about tactics and answer any questions that y'all might have. We're waiting on